Uncle Joey here on a Thursday morning with my girl Tara. Looking good. What's happening?
Thank you.
What's happening?
What's happening?
You know me, dog.
I know you.
What's your last name? How do I say it?
Oh, Cannistraci.
Okay. We'll just leave it.
Tara jokes.
We'll
say
just leave
Tara
it Terry T. That's it. Is it C or
C?
C. What's going on?
Nothing.
Thank you. Welcome you to the
Thank
joint.
you for having me. You have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
Beautiful
We're trying.
wife.
Thank you.
He's all right.
He's good looking dude, Mike. I'm happy you made it down here.
Thank you.
No, fucking please. When Dino told me you want to come on, I was like, anytime. She's family, you know.
Oh, thank you.
What's going on in your world?
What's going on? I'm recording an album on Saturday.
You excited?
I am.
Is this
I'm
your
excited.
first album?
I did a compilation one before this, and now
What's
I'm
a
doing
compilation album? Comedy.
So it was a few other comics.
Okay.
And we did one, and that one went well.
Okay.
And I said, "I'm time for my hour."
How do you feel about your album?
I feel good. I feel like I want to get it done and put it to bed.
And this is audio or audio visual?
It's going to be audio and visual, but
And you're taping it at Uncle Vinny's.
No other place to do it.
That's such a fucking great place, and I love Dino to death.
Oh my God, to death.
It's my Jersey home, you know. But they had some problems this week. Well, not problems. They just had a situation where some fucking, some white trash dude fucking
chucked the beer can
at some people. And I saw your picture and I retweeted it yesterday. Mm-hmm. But the first thing I thought about, I was going to put bring helmets or something to your thing.
Catcher's mitt, right? Like catcher face mask.
But you're trying to do a special. Yeah. You don't want to. But it's always something that's been in the back of your mind. Like for 20 years, I always thought about what would stop somebody from throwing something at you, attacking you on stage, and all of a sudden, in 2022, it's starting. This is real now. That girl, if she would have got hit with that beer can, it would have not been a good fucking night. And
you heard how hard it was when it hit that wall.
And I think he threw it to miss her on purpose, maybe. I hope he didn't throw the can.
He was drunk. The BYOB there.
Yeah, no, he was drunk. Mm-hmm. He was fucking drunk. The dude was, and there's a couple ways you could attack this, but there's no other ways. There's no reason why you should be throwing
anywhere.
Anything.
And throwing anything anywhere.
And I've always said it. I've said that, listen, I did not know this. I did not know that they just implemented a fine on cruise ships. It's a $500 fine if you act the wrong way. They helicopter you off, and you got to pay all that shit out of your own fucking pocket.
Could you imagine?
They helicopter people off all the time. They helicopter comics off. If you go on one of those fucking Bahamas or one of those places, and you're not supposed to fucking curse, and you curse, and they tell you, like it's in the contract.
Oh, if you don't have a clean set?
No, and you go up to, there's a lot of guys, i.e. like me, that would do that. Like, you got to work clean. I'll work clean.
They're going to work. I don't think anybody thinks you're working clean.
No, but back then, when you had 30 minutes and you were trying to feature, they'll ask you, you're going to work clean? And you're like, yeah, I'll work clean. You're not going to work clean. You go up there, you fuck around, you say shit, they stop the show. They go to your room and clean it out for you. You're not even allowed to go back to your room, and they helicopter you the fuck out of there.
And then you have that bill.
And you can't. If you're a comic, you can't sleep with any of the cruise guests. Like you can get kicked off. They have real strict rules.
Real rules.
If you're on one of those cruise ships,
corporate.
you're not on vacation. You're an employee.
No. And if you're a comic, you could drink, but you can't have a certain amount of alcohol in your system. Like I have a dear friend that does cruise ships. There was a fight. He was there. He tried to break him up. When the ship police came, they fucking breathalyzed everybody. They fired him. Damn. He had nothing to do with the fight. Welcome to corporate comedy in America. That's what you want to fucking do.
Sounds a lot nicer when you're like, I'm cruising around telling jokes. Sounds a lot nicer.
I've never really considered a cruise ship or anything. Like I've never considered it. Not because I'm a pompous asshole or anything like that. Because that's not, to me, that's not what stand-up was intended for.
Maybe music.
I don't know. And even then, music on a ship, when the ship is going down. Like, remember the Titanic?
Yeah.
They're playing the violin as the ship was going down. Keep playing, cocksucker. Listen, I'm swimming. I'm not fucking playing. So, and I can't imagine how it feels for a woman. See, that happened to a woman the other day.
Oh, the can.
And that that's where my fucking shit stops. Like right there. Like I could see a guy saying something with you, a guy, but a girl. You threw a bottle at a non-assuming, white, sweet girl.
She handled it like a boss.
No, listen,
I heard she drank it. Like,
yeah.
I wish I'm the Italian paranoid, hypochondriac in me would be scared to touch a germ. But like the way she just she said she had like one split second and she was like, you got to drink this. And
she's going to go on Kimball now?
Yeah, I think so. He retweeted.
Good for her.
Yeah.
God fucking bless her. What made you, as pretty as you are, get into this fucking... terrible fucking career.
Did you get into
it to open up other doors, or did you get into it because you enjoyed stand-up?
It was stand-up for me. Okay. And it was stand-up for me probably from really early on before I even knew. Like we were talking earlier in your living room, like I was always drawn to comedy. Like my aunt would say as little as 2 years old, I'd be watching Johnny Carson and the Honeymooners and the Carol Burnett Show and I Love Lucy. Like not stand-up necessarily, but comedy. I always loved comedy. Saturday Night Live. Like as a kid, that's what I was watching. It wasn't so much cartoons. I was watching these characters on TV. And then I always wanted to do it, but you think you can't, or you rationalize like, I can't make a living. I have to do this, or I have to pay bills, or I have to. So I held off doing it for quite a while, and then the show The Last Comic Standing came out, and I was psyched the first season. Oh my God, I watched every episode. I loved watching people do their thing. I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. And then I couldn't wait for the next season. And then by the time that next season came out, I said I couldn't watch it anymore. It was bothering me. It was like making me upset. And that's not me. Like I champion everyone. You want to make boxes and sell them on the corner, and you want to bedazzle a cane and sell it. My friends want to have babies and get married. I celebrate it. To watch people do their thing and it bothered me. I knew that it was because I was suppressing doing it. And I was like, okay, this isn't me. So now what am I going to do? Because now I'm not even enjoying it. I'm not enjoying watching other people do it. So I put my big girl pants on. And I went and I started.
What was the first place you performed?
The Producers Club. I was in like an off-Broadway sketch comedy play. And the producer said, you want to do it? Go out every night and warm up the crowd. Write your 5 minutes and go warm up. And like the first few nights, they'd be like pushing me on stage. And I'd be like, no, this was a mistake. And then by the end of the run of the show, I was like, is it my time? Am I going up? When are we starting? I want to. You get that, get those first few laughs and you're like, this is it. Whatever this is it. Like the other day, somebody goes, well, what's the end game? I go, the end game is always going to be being on that stage. What you get from it, obviously, it's a platform for other things. But for me, it's always going to be stand-up. Because that's what I really feel like. That's what I wanted.
You said something that really opened up something for me. We were talking about Eleanor on Monday, and people who were around comedy. I think when you're a kid, and you're around it. Like, I was a fan of Carol Burnett, The Tonight Show.
Me too.
Fucking hee-haw. I was a big hee-haw guy. That shit made me laugh as a kid. Comedy. But, I wonder where all this I loved the fucking English porno guy. Benny Hill, that a tit would fall out and shit. I love Benny Hill. He always did creepy things. Like, I love, but it's so weird. I don't know. You watch all this TV, like, I wonder the people who came from the Saturday Night Live era. Right. I wonder what comics came out from the Saturday Night Live era, and just different things that we watch to build your sense of humor as you're growing up, and you don't even know it.
Right. I knew what I liked, what I didn't. I knew what comics, I knew what I was drawn to. Like, I don't even do the comedy of Carol Burnett. Her physicality, though, all those things about her, I was like, this. I didn't know what it was. I was 4 or 5 watching, I knew my grandmother was laughing and she never laughed. So I knew something was, I wanted to do whatever they were doing. I just didn't know.
One of the biggest surprises I got when I come back to New Jersey 2 years ago was I came back knowing that the Honeymooners were on. As stupid as it is. I came here thinking that the Honeymooners were on at 11 o'clock every night still. Boy, was I surprised. I get Seinfeld bumped them. It's like Seinfeld and creepy fucking shows on Channel 11. But then I realized they would come on midnight. And the first time I watched it with my daughter, I remember we watched it downstairs. I go, Merce, let's watch The Honeymooners. It was the one about the mambo, when he learns how to do the mambo and shit. And I got to tell you guys a revealing thing I've never told nobody. It's not theft. It's not theft, because I struggled with this. That episode, I was watching, I'm like, I think I stole a lot of Jackie Gleason's body.
Like his
And Norton, too. Like, Norton is a fucking champion comic. Like, champion. The timing they both had. But when I watch that Honeymooners, and I'm in the, with my daughter, and I'm crying, and I'm laughing at the same. Every time a Honeymooners episode comes on, I cry. At some point. When I laugh, I cry because I cannot believe that this still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
The time I was in the fucking 5th grade, I was 10. Now I'm 59. I'm still fucking laughing at the same stupid jokes.
I know.
And somewhere in that laughter, I cried because last time I used to watch these, my mother was alive. There was so many things.
The nostalgia.
But throughout all that, I did see a lot of the shit I did on stage in Jackie Gleason, and I'm not saying I stole it from him.
Right.
Okay, and
Right.
it wasn't. It's what?
It was
Yes,
your influence.
It's an influence.
You're influenced.
It's somebody watching somebody over and over, and
When you said it, I wondered, like, if the guy who, when you watch Seinfeld, you watch Kramer, like, Art Carney was the first of that come out. Like, he came out of the gate, and you laughed, and when you watch the shows, people are laughing before he speaks his first word, because he's walking in, he's looking at a wall, he's doing this, he's trying to. His physicality, you already know he's funny. He's funny before he says a line.
And then the second wave of comedy came in my life, and that was Sanford and Son. And Chico and the Man. And, I was never a big Saturday Night Live guy. It just did not work for me. I would go home and go, what is all the fucking yelling and screaming about? This is not this good to me. I
Right.
just didn't. So I always went, when I watched that, it let me know maybe I didn't like clean comedy. I like dirty comedy, so I started listening more to Pryor. So in my world, it's like Pryor. Gleason, it's and you see that years later. Not that when we start doing comedy, we emulate someone.
Oh,
For you people who are at
100%.
home, who did you emulate? Who did you think?
I used to go see. I can never say I've emulated him, but I used to study because I took it like I had to learn. I took it like this is the education. I was going to comedy clubs to learn. For me, I tracked Colin Quinn, and mind you, I don't do that comedy. I like to think I'm of above average intelligence, but no, Colin Quinn's on another level of brilliance. But he was New York, which I can't hide my accent. He's New York, and he's smart, and his mannerisms and the way he can. I used to go watch him. You're gonna learn, even if it's not what you're doing. And I would go wherever he was, to watch him and do things. So that for me, I think, was my biggest. And when I first came out, Amy Schumer was when she first hit the mark, where you saw a really strong, female New York female presence on the scene. Even if again that wasn't what I wanted to do, or that was my voice, it was still something to learn.
I worked at a comedy club. I worked at a D room. It was called Wits End, Aurora, Colorado. No.
Before stand-up? Before you did stand-up?
Yeah, no, I got the job. I took a stand-up course. 3 weeks, $33. Jeff Harms, great, University of Colorado. In the last class, he pulled me aside, and he goes, I think if you want to do this, I could see you doing it. I go, I'm not ready to get on stage. And he goes, okay. He goes, I want you around it. He goes, I want you to call this guy and go down there. And that's what I did. That next day I went there, applied, and 2 days later they called, and I worked there from January of 91 till I got the balls to get on stage in July of 91.
So 6 months.
6 months, and I got promoted like 3 times in those 6 months. By the time I got on stage, I was already a barback. I was the sound guy, and I was the door guy. I was security. Fucking craziness. Right. I had to do all those jobs. But when I was bar bapping, I would watch the comics. That's it. Just watch.